Hi there, I'm Vincent and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing no contact and the power of time after a breakup. I provide audio coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details. www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast, and today we are discussing no contact and the power of time after a breakup. If you have been through a breakup, then you might have heard people suggest that you implement the no contact rule. Successfully implementing no contact can help you towards breakup recovery and increase the chance of you one day getting your ex back. But why is no contact often a long process? And why is patience important? In today's podcast, I'm going to discuss 3 reasons why the power of time is linked to the no contact rule. So let's get straight into this, and number 1 is time to stabilize. Being angry isn't attractive. Being obsessive isn't attractive. Being needy and desperate isn't attractive. Unfortunately, these negative traits and more are likely to be in your persona after a breakup. Getting your ex back or finding someone even better won't be possible if you showcase negativity. It's time to take a step back to regroup. It's time to go no contact and stabilize your mindset. After a breakup, our mindset is unstable. Our thoughts and feelings are all over the place, and we are experiencing grief, going through each stage one by one, and then once again muddled up. There's no rhyme nor reason as for when you will get through all of the stages of grief, because they can come and they can go, and you might experience one, then you might experience it again a while later. You have to go through grief at your own pace, and if and when you start to feel acceptance most of the time, that is when it can be best described as you have recovered from your breakup. But even then, you are likely to have moments where you feel down, confused and upset. That is why I like to say that it's when you feel acceptance most of the time, not 100% of the time. Your feelings will ebb and flow like the waves out at sea. They will come and go, and you have to understand that to stabilize your mindset is going to take time. To stabilize your mindset to the point of where you are able to move forward with your life, either trying to get your ex back or attracting somebody new, it's going to take a while. Most people do not get to that stage of having a stable mindset for at least a number of months. Some people take years. Now, of course, there is no 100% guaranteed way of understanding and predicting how each individual person will cope through a breakup. Some people do recover much quicker. Some people will feel much better after a matter of weeks, but they are in the minority. Most dumpees will be struggling with their mindset for many months, and that is the reality. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to be feeling really down, really low 24/7 for all of this time. At first, this might sadly be the case, but as time moves forward, you will likely have days where things feel easier. As time moves further forward, you will have more of these better days and less of the difficult, troubling days. And that is when you can see your mindset starting to stabilize and acceptance being a stronger, more relevant part of your personality. So this is why point number 1 of today's podcast about the power of time is time to stabilize, because the power of time enables you to experience and to go through grief, to experience and understand yourself, and really to start moving forward in a way where you have a stable mindset. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast of no contact and the power of time after a breakup. And point number 2 is time for your ex to miss you. So someone who ends a relationship has lost romantic emotional attraction for their dumpee. They won't miss their dumpee after 5 minutes, 5 days, or 5 weeks. They are unlikely to miss their dumpee after 5 months. But as time progresses from there is more chance that the dumper will start to reflect on their life and begin to be susceptible to triggers that remind themselves of their previous partner and prior to the breakup and how they felt back then. This enables the dumper to move into a position where there is an opportunity for them to regret their decision. They will only regret their decision if they have built up enough new romantic emotional attraction to the new certain high point, and this to be combined with a reflection or triggers. So this does take work. This isn't something which happens in every instance, unfortunately. There is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back, and not every dumper will get to this stage. But you will need time for your ex to miss you for there to be any opportunity of success. Again, we have to generalize at this point, and you will find odd exceptions of where a dumper misses their dumpee very quickly indeed. But in the vast majority of instances, when I look at the average amount of time it seems to take, I would suggest that it takes around that 6-month mark on average. Now, that doesn't mean it can't happen sooner, and it also doesn't mean it can't happen later. I've known many dumpers contact their dumpees after years of no contact being implemented. Now, as a dumpee, you might be thinking, well, that's not really much use to me. I don't want to be waiting years. But the important thing is that you need to understand is that a dumper won't forget you. A dumper won't forget their dumpee, and it is possible for them to decide that they have made a mistake, that they miss their dumpee many years into the future. So we never know what the future holds. And as I've just said, on the other end of things, it is possible that after days or weeks, the dumper might begin to feel regret and start to miss their dumpee. But when we look at generalization, when we start to think, what is the likelihood of this situation taking place? I've seen on average from my own research that it seems to me that around the 6-month mark is a good figure to have in mind as for when a dumper might really start to reflect on their life, where triggers might really start to be taking effect, and where a dumper might finally reach out to their dumpee. So if you've been dumped and it's been a few days and you're thinking, why hasn't my ex texted me? Well, let me tell you, it's very unlikely that they will at this stage. As I've just said, as an average amount of time, I would suggest it could be many months. 5, 6, 7 months perhaps on average, looking at that 6-month mark. But please don't get distressed if you've gone past 6 months, because I've known many instances where it has taken years. Although we have to say, we have to be genuine, we have to be honest, we have to be straightforward, in some instances, a dumper will never regret their decision. In some instances, a dumper will never regrow enough romantic emotional attraction for them to feel regret. And this is why it's so important that a dumpee doesn't stand still, doesn't clock watch, doesn't wait around for their ex, because there is no guarantee that their dumper will ever want to speak to them again, let alone get back together. So that is why it's so important to implement my version of a no contact rule. And I say my version because there are many different versions that you can find online, and I believe that my version will give you the best possible chance of success. So I suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring the bell for notifications, and check out my playlist entitled The No Contact Rule. This will enable you to fully immerse yourself in my version of a rule and understand why I believe it will give you the best possible chance of success. So if you are a dumpee, whether you want to get your ex back or whether you want to meet somebody even better, you must implement my version of a no contact rule. You must move forward with positivity, and you can't sit around, because there is no guarantee that your ex may contact you. But if they were to contact you, then it would take some time in most instances. So point number 2 of today's podcast as for why we can link the no contact rule to the power of time after a breakup is so time passes for your ex to miss you. So now let's move into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast. And point number 3 is time to improve. So become a better person today than you were yesterday, then become a better person tomorrow than you are currently today. Can you imagine how much you can improve in a few months? We've just been speaking about the average amount of time it seems for a dumper to contact their dumpee being around 6 months. Imagine how much improvement you could have done within this time if you're improving every single day. You can become a version 2.0 of yourself and ready for the world. Whether you get your ex back or find somebody even better, you will find happiness and fulfillment providing you move forward with positivity and self-improvement. Every single day is the day to improve. You shouldn't be saying I'll do it tomorrow and not today, because tomorrow never comes. It should be tomorrow, but it should also be today. You can do this. I believe in you, and you should understand that if you move forward, you will get out of the breakup bleak tunnel sooner. You're in a dark, bleak tunnel after your breakup, and at the moment you are standing there feeling scared. But if you stand still in a tunnel, you won't get out of it, you won't get through it, and you won't see the light of happiness. The only way to see this happiness, to experience this fun, excitement and fulfillment is to move forward step by step, day by day, until you get through your bleak tunnel and into the light of happiness. When you get out of that tunnel, you will experience all that life has to offer. And that with or without your ex, you will have a positive future because you are doing the right things. If you do enough of the right things, then the right things will eventually come to you. So although I can't guarantee you will get your ex back, what I can guarantee is if you move forward in the right way, if you self-improve every single day, if you live a positive life, eventually you are very likely to experience happiness. And you will experience happiness quite possibly more than you did before. Please never think that you have peaked your happiness with your former partner. You can always find more. You can always improve, and you can always have a happier future than you've previously experienced. So don't think anything you find from now will be worse than what you lost, because I believe that you can find more than you ever felt before. So please be excited for the future and understand that you will find happiness again. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. DateMe.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, DateMe.tips, check it out now.